can you explain relationship between mind and emptiness, right? And does Buddha equals empty? Is it empty? Is that what empty? Well, it's a very broad topic. When you say mind, remember mind has two perspectives to it. Were you talking about the real mind, or you're talking about the false mind, fictitious mind? Now, let's take a look at the false mind. What's mentality? Mind relates to thoughts. Thoughts originates from the mind. And every thought, once it's originated, is gone. So in other words, your thought comes up, and then your thought will sustain, and then your thought will change into something else, and something else carry into action. Which means that every mental thought is subject to changes. Subject to changes. And every thought, once it has arisen, it keeps on changing. So a second ago, that thought, up to 1 second, is not the same thought anymore. That means the thought itself is ephemeral, it's fleeting, it changes all the time. It's not eternity. So then you know that thought has no substance by itself. That thought hasn't got its nature. Its nature is empty, because emptiness means that it depends on causality. It is short-lived. It is not permanent. It's impermanent. So that means emptiness reminds us that every thought is impermanent. Every thought depends on other thought. Every thought depends on causality. If we can explain the relationship between mind and emptiness, we can put it that way. But then another question comes up. Yeah, I know that. Every thought is empty. Every thought is impermanent. Then how does it help me? We know that everything is subject to changes, and we want to make sure that these changes are towards something good, first of all. And then, can we go beyond it? Can we go beyond this false mind? And then then another concept, the real mind, creeps in. Once you change from the false mind to the real mind, then you get to purity. Once you get into purity, there's no discrimination, there's no obstinacy, there is no jealousy, there's no hatred. Then you gear yourself towards the anuttara samya sambuddhi, which is complete enlightenment. So that means the mind pulls you down, gets you to hell, gets you to the realm of ghosts, the realm of animals, but at the same time it can push you up to heaven. So heaven or hell is your mind that works towards it. We should know the details of how the mind works. That's the objective meditation. Does Buddha equals emptiness? Buddha itself is emptiness. There's no such thing as equal. Emptiness applies to everything, not just to Buddha. Emptiness applies to this bowl. Emptiness applies to this piece of paper. Emptiness applies to everything, not just to Buddha. Examine relationship between this, just the words only. It's just superficial. You really have to contemplate deep into it. I've been away for a month, and I went to Hong Kong, and then I also went to Thailand, this Theravada, the country of the Theravada school of Buddhism. I spent about 3 days in Thailand. I didn't have enough time to go to temples to visit Theravada monks and have a session of meditation with them. I haven't really gone with them for alms round, which is interesting to me. I would like to do it in the future. But I always think about, if I'm Oriental, if I'm a Chinese monk wearing the sash and the costumes of a Chinese monk, if I got mixed with the Theravada, I don't know what they would think of me. They may think of me as a layman. And I've heard from for monks, Chinese monks who went over to Thailand, they recognize more of Theravada than Hinayana Buddhism, than Mahayana Buddhism. So I went to Thailand, and the reason why I went to Thailand is I met a couple in here many months ago, and they are American citizens living in Seattle, and they were also born in Thailand. So I told them I would like to. I always did release of sea lives every year, going to harbors and going to markets to release fish like sharks, turtles, and all kinds of fish, clams and oysters and all that. And then I would like to release land animals like cows, sheep, and goats. But they're extremely difficult because when you release a cow is about to be killed in a slaughterhouse. You want to buy the cow, and where do you put them? At your backyard? So, I mean, but the way, if you get into Google of slaughterhouses, you will find that it's extremely cruel, slaughtering the cows and chickens and all these animals are a very cruel act. So, I have always been thinking about how do we save a buffalo, for example, from being killed. So I expressed this idea to that couple. I just mentioned it very briefly, but when they returned to Thailand, they really investigated into it, spent a lot of time to investigate into how to release buffaloes in Thailand. And they come up with some proposals. A temple, actually some temples set up a fund like that, which means that they go to a slaughterhouse and they ransom is it called ransom? Yeah, they buy them out. So is it called a ransom? They ransom, or they pay money and they buy the buffaloes at the auction of the slaughterhouse, and they put it back to the temple, and the temple would put it somewhere in the temple and let the donors, the devotees, donate money, and they have enough money to buy the cows, and then they give it to the farmer. And then that cow won't be killed. But then there are problems in setting up a program like that. I've heard that, reading from the newspapers, that some temple would put a cow like that in a temple and accept a lot of donations. A buffalo is 19,000 bahts, B-A-H-T, Thai money, Thai currency. It's 19,000, which is equivalent to about $800, $700 Canadian. And so they have a cow, $700 Canadian, and you thought that you buy this cow and this cow was released and given to the farmer. But in some temples, they put the cow there and they accept a lot of invitations. You give 7,000, no, this is your cow. And you give another 7,000, 700 and 800. So one cow, they collect a lot of donations for it. So I thought that's not the right way to do. Plus, later they give it to the farmer. The farmer would put it together in the cattle house and let them breed and reproduce. And when they reproduce smaller cows, they sell the smaller cows to the market. So you're letting the farmers to proliferate these cows more to be killed. So I don't think that's the right idea. So I went over there and talked to, I was about to have a meeting with some responsible persons in the temple, but then I changed my mind because that's not the way to release cows. So I actually find out more about going to a farm, to a cow farm, a buffalo farm. So we drove, to make a long story short, we drove 3 hours to the countryside of Thailand. 3 hours, a long trip, very hot. And, but mind you, coffee is extremely good along the way. Oh yeah, I had extremely good coffee, the Thai, very good coffee shop. And 3 hours going over there to visit a cow farm, a buffalo farm. And that is the first Thai buffalo farm in Thailand. And usually dairy cows, they milk the buffaloes. Now, dairy cows are black and white cows. You see the black and white dairy cows? But in Thailand, some people think that milking a buffalo, the milk has more protein than the milk from a black and white cows. So they had a buffalo dairy farm. So we went to a buffalo dairy farm, buffaloes with horns. So we went over there and visit the farm and understand more about it. And I talked to the owner. A buffalo has a milking life of about 13 years. And their life lasts for about 15 years. So after the 13th year, no more milk, they sell them to slaughterhouses. So this farmer, this buffalo farmer, already have killed 600 buffaloes. Every year about 60 buffaloes. She sent it to slaughterhouses. She already sent 600 buffaloes to slaughterhouses. So I talked to her, I said, well, these buffaloes have been working for you for 13 years and giving you all the milk. You make all the money from these cows, getting milk from them, and when they get too old, they can't work anymore, they don't have any milk, and you kill them. It's not right. Imagine if you have your staff working for you and contributing to you, and when they get old, you kill them. What's the difference? So I talked her into joining in this program. And she said that, yeah, I think about it, but I think it's right. I shouldn't kill them. I love these cows, but somehow I habitually, all of us habitually sell them to slaughterhouses, and I know that they slaughtered them brutally, but I think it's a practice. Slaughtering them like to be a practice. It's a habit. So I talked her into joining this program of saving buffaloes in Thailand. And she's going to draw up a proposal, and I promised her that I'll be releasing 30 buffaloes in the first year. And if this becomes successful, every year we save 30 buffaloes. And then the next question is, there's so many buffaloes, you only save 30. It's insignificant. How much can you do? Why do it? Every buffalo has to be killed anyway. My explanation is the same as the story I told you. When that man is going along the beach throwing starfish back into the sea, and the old man said, hey, young man, what are you doing? I'm throwing this starfish back to the sea. That doesn't make any difference because there's millions of starfish in here and you can only flow about 100 per day. Insignificant, there's so many of them. And the young man picked up the starfish and said, no, to him, his life is important. And he threw it back to the sea. To every buffalo, the buffalo's life is important. Imagine if you are that buffalo, if it's your life, is it valuable? So although there's so little we can do, but it means so much. It's a life. It's a symbolic compassion. So we plan to do it, and initially she came up with a figure that I would like to push down, 29,000 bucks. Which is equivalent to about 7,000 Hong Kong dollars, which is about 1,000. It should be 700, but she said that her buffaloes are much heavier, and she wanted to charge $1,000 per buffalo. So if you're interested, you can join in. And this couple, they're very respectable couple that brought me to the farm. When I was in Hong Kong, and the couple said, came over to us. We have a summer mansion. I can provide you 20 rooms in my mansion, summer mansion 1. Now you can come 20 people. And then I said, we only have 4 people. I don't know what will happen to us in Thailand because I don't know how many days I will spend in there. So I said, 4 of us came over. I said, don't worry about it. So I talked to my colleagues. I said, I don't know what kind of summer house it is. Going there in the summer house, we went over there. It's like a five-star hotel. A ceiling 3 times high, and we live in a penthouse. It's so gorgeous. And we said, how do we pay you? You don't have to pay me a penny. And the couple talked to me over the phone before I fly from Hong Kong to Thailand. And they said, don't change any Thai currency. I'll give it to you to spend when you're over there. I've never get an office that you come to my country and you don't need to spend a penny. I have all this money ready for you to use. So he gave me 20,000 bucks on the spot and give every member, 4 members, 20,000 bucks. All these members say, no, we don't need it. No. So being a monk, I said, okay, I accept it. So I accepted 20,000 bucks, put in my pocket, and I spent 3 days in there. And I was, other than going to the farm, I was shown to all this fruits market. Oh, they have fantastic fruits market in Thailand. It's so clean, much cleaner than Granville Island, much cleaner than the Richmond fruit market. I thought Thailand it's more or less a semi-developed country, but their fruit market is so clean. Everything is wrapped up so nicely, and I very seldom I see a fly on the fruits. So I went over there, and then the couple said, hey, do you want to buy this and buy that? I said, no, I don't want to buy. Oh, yeah, get one. So I get a whole bunch of dry fruits and durians and mangoes and all that. And he paid for everything. So at the end of the trip, I said, here is 20,000 bucks. I didn't use a penny. So you pay for everything. I don't need to spend any money. So I give it back to him. So he said, next time, if our Save Buffaloes program in Thailand is successful, bring your devotees here. I said, how many should I bring? Well, you can bring 20 people. I have 10 rooms in here. Every room is about 1/4 of this size, which is quite big a room. And every room is ensuite. You can sleep, you can put 4 beds in there. And they have a huge dancing hall in the penthouse. And he is an international examiner for Latin dance. So he had 3 penthouse, he had 3 mansions and have 3 dancing halls. And if you want to get a teacher's certificate for teaching Latin dance, you got to come to him. He's the examiner for it. So I said, 20 people. Said, how much then should they pay? They don't have to pay a penny. Just come over. Or how about food? They don't have to pay for food. So then what do they pay? They pay for their own air ticket. But I said, yeah, but I would like to put a condition in there. Anyone who wants to save 2 cows, you can go. 2 cows is how many? 2,000. If you want to save 2 cows, $2,000, then you can go. You pay for your own ticket. You don't have to pay for traveling. You pay for your own ticket. You don't have to pay food. You don't have to pay for hotel. Plus, there will be chauffeurs showing you around to the fruit markets, to all these places in Thailand. Good deal. First come, first serve. There's a lot of people in Hong Kong who would like to go. Yes?
What would the cows or the buffaloes do when they're in the wild? You know, I mean,
You mean later? When after they've been saved, after they've been saved,
yes.
They just live in their retirement homes. And when they set up a retirement pasture for them, so every day it's just like they walk around, they didn't do anything, they have no more milk. They're all old ladies, you know. No more milk.
Walking meditation.
Yeah. They have no more milk, so they kill them. I said, don't kill them, just give them a retirement home to stay in. So that's their retirement homes. And that would be the first OH homes for retired buffaloes in Thailand.
Would there be a vet there?
Oh yes, because he already had a vet for all the others who were being milked. So it's very good. It's a very good environment. He's got a vet. They're already growing all these hundreds of buffalo, 300 buffaloes. It's just he put these old ladies aside to the retirement homes. So that's a retirement home for old buffaloes, set up by Reverend Guan Cheng.
To lead a walking meditation.
Yeah.
are you going to lead the walking meditation then?
Walk meditation for the cows?
Walking meditation.
Walking meditation for the retired cows.
Walking meditation, yeah, walking meditation. So if you're interested, if you save 2 cows, 2 buffaloes, then first come, first serve. Because there's so many people who would like to go. And it's a good deed. I mean, you're saving a buffalo. These buffaloes are beautiful buffaloes. They just kill them for meat when they get tired, when they get old. Render your symbolic compassion by saving 2 buffaloes. And maybe you can put them aside. I saved 2 buffaloes. I put 2 buffaloes in a retirement home. What is $2,000? Very minimal. Yes?
Is this place near Bangkok?
It is in Bangkok, 3 hours away from Bangkok City. And Bangkok is a place for Buddhism. Everywhere, the temple everywhere. And of course, when you go over there, we'll go to visit different temples, and it's interesting. But remember, our spaces are limited. And I think you're going to travel with me too. So you have more than me just as an interpreter. Of course, we have other interesting things that we have done. Food is fantastic. Durian and mango mixed with sticky rice. Oh, that's the best dish. Simple and delicious. And you have a lot of fruits, Thai fruits. And Thailand has so many waterways in Thailand. Canoes and canals and good food in Thailand. It's called the land with smiles. People invite tourists to go over there. Anyway, any questions? I'm just simplifying my whole trip, my saving buffalo trip, just simplified it for you. Yes?
And what the duration would be this trip?
What will be the duration next time?
Yes.
Maybe about, say, 5 days. 5, 6. At the maximum would be 6 days. Yeah. And it's a good opportunity for you to visit the Orient. And you pay for your own fare. But as I said, I really mean it. There's so many people who like to join. We only have, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go in a large group. It's too much trouble to go in a large group. Maybe 20 people, and I think they already have registered quite a few. But anyway, there's always a second trip. If you can't go this time, you go the next time. Don't let me disappoint you. There are a lot of people who like to go. Yeah.
And when are you planning the next trip?
2 months later, July. I'm going back in July because I'm going back to the book fair. Every year I hold a book fair in Hong Kong, in which I will be in there. I have 2 booths displaying all the videos and books that I have written in Chinese. I wrote 5 books in Chinese, and I haven't written any in English. I would like to. If I have more time, I like to write more. So I like to write in English, but I haven't had enough time, but I plan to do that more and more. So my booth would show all those products that I have, show it to people of Hong Kong, and the book fair usually has participants of more than 1.6 million people in the 7 days. They have 14 floors of books. 1 floor is contributed to Buddhism. So they have 1 floor of Buddhist books in English and in Chinese. And all these other floors have other books too. It's a book fair. It's the largest Oriental book fair in Southeast Asia, with a participant of 1.6 million people in the exhibition center in Hong Kong. I have joined that for many years already.